Imagine trying to map a place you cannot see. No light reaches it. No instrument can touch it. It sits behind bone, deep inside the head, in a darkness no eye has ever entered. And yet, thousands of years ago, long before anyone could look inside a living brain, people across the world kept drawing maps that pointed inward toward that hidden center. They pointed to the same hidden region. They said the same thing about what lived there. And when modern anatomy finally mapped the brain, it found something waiting deep near the place those traditions had been pointing toward. How did they know? For most of human history, the inside of the skull was a sealed country. The brain could not be studied in the living. The dead gave up little. What lay at the center of the head was, for almost everyone who ever lived, completely unreachable, as distant as the bottom of the ocean, as hidden as the far side of the moon. There was no way in, no way to see, and so you would expect the ancient world to have said nothing about it, to have left that hidden center blank, the way old maps left blank the places no one had traveled. But that is not what happened. In India, thousands of years ago, the contemplative traditions described a center deep within the head, a point between and behind the brows, drawn inward toward the middle of the skull. They called it a seat of perception, a place of inner sight beyond the reach of the ordinary senses. They built entire systems around it, mapped it with precision, and taught that it could be awakened. They were not pointing at the eyes. They were pointing inward, toward the center. In the Tibetan traditions, the same region appears again, an inner eye located in the same deep position, described as a center of awareness that could be cultivated and opened through lifetimes of practice. Different cultures, different languages, distant worlds, separated by time, geography, and belief. The same point in the head, the same claim about what it was, and the symbols echo even further. The pinecone, appearing in carvings across the ancient world, raised in the hands of gods, etched into temple walls, a shape that strangely echoes a small gland buried deep near the center of the human brain. A gland the ancient anatomists could barely reach and could not have studied in any living person. And yet the shape kept appearing. The location kept being marked. The same hidden center named again and again by people who had no way to see it. Then, in time, the bone was opened. The brain was mapped, and deep in the place the traditions had pointed toward for thousands of years sat a small gland, the pineal gland, named by coincidence or not, for the pinecone it resembles. It sits deep near the center of the brain. It responds to light, though no light reaches it directly. It governs the rhythm of day and night, and it occupies the same mysterious inner region the old maps kept marking as the seat of inner sight. Modern anatomy had found the place the ancients drew toward, the same region, the same center, the thing they pointed to without ever being able to see it. Sit with what that requires. To map a hidden place correctly, you usually need to reach it, to measure it, to see it even once. The ancient traditions did none of that, and still arrived at the same center modern science would not confirm for thousands of years. Maybe it was coincidence, a lucky guess repeated across cultures by chance. Or maybe they had a different way of finding it, not by cutting inward from the outside, but by paying attention from the inside, by turning awareness so far inward that it arrived somehow at the very place that awareness is built. The traditions never claim to have dissected it. They claim to have felt their way to it, to have reached the center not with a blade, but with attention, sustained, disciplined, turned inward over a lifetime until it found the place where something sees. We mapped the brain from the outside, and it took us thousands of years. They claim to have mapped it from the inside, and they pointed to the same spot. What it would mean if that inner map was real, if attention turned far enough inward can actually reach the center of itself, belongs to a question we have barely begun to ask. The ancients drew a map of a place they could not see, and every line of it pointed inward to the same quiet center, waiting at the middle of you. No pressure, just presence.